roll with the punches to supersize and grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And our idiom for today is to roll with the punches. There's a lot of sports idioms, right? Especially in all areas and aspects of our life, but especially in business. People love to compare sports and teams and all kinds of things to business. Well, roll with your punches is one that comes from, of course, the sport of boxing, which I never quite understand why somebody would want to be involved professionally or semi-professionally, even just for the fun of it, punching it and getting punched for a living. It just seems a little bit harsh. Maybe that's my female perspective, but I just don't want to get punched in the face, and I don't want to punch anybody in the face either, whether it's in a ring or in business or in life. I think that we shouldn't throw blows and punch people in order to try to knock them out. It's just not a very kind way of doing business, and I'm all about how do we make the world a better place, not how do we make it worse. Well, this idiom, of course, means to adapt to difficulties, not just to take a punch, but to adapt to the difficulties and challenges that arise whenever we're doing anything great, right? Especially supersizing our business. It comes from boxing, where literally you punch each other in the face or get punched in the face and other body parts in order to try to knock your opponent out. A lot of businesses operate as if to their competition they need to knock them out and destroy them. Not much different than boxing. But I say, if you're being yourself and serving people in the way that only you can do it, then you don't have any competition, so you don't have to be involved in boxing and punching one another out. I'm going to share 8 tips to roll with the punches in order to deal with adversity. I found a little article on that. I thought it was pretty good because if you're in business long enough, if you are just starting your business, chances are you have faced some kind of challenges or adversity. The vast majority of people I work with don't come to me when they just want to grow and build and supersize their business. They come to me because they've got a challenge, a difficulty. They're facing a court battle or a legal battle or some kind of a problem in their business that they're not sure how to overcome, and it's a big punch, and so they need help getting through the punch and dealing with it. So here's some of the tips and things that we can do to be more resilient, to know that we're going to get hit. We're going to get hit. We're going to have challenges. If you think you're going to build a business, especially supersize a business, and not have challenges, adversity, competition, people you never even imagined coming after you for things that you couldn't even possibly have imagined, it's being really naive. Now, as someone who started out in business very young and very naive, I've had my share of punches, yet I've always gotten back up, dusted myself off, and maybe I had to change my direction, or maybe I just punched back. Sometimes we need to punch back because that's the right thing to do as well, especially when there's some unethical or unfair behavior going on. So what are these 8 tips for rolling with the punches? Rolling with the punches infers that we should be flexible and go with the punch in order to minimize the pain of that punch. And there's a lot of value in thinking that way as well as we grow and build our business. But what are these tips? Number 1, change what you are in control of. Change the things you can control, and things you can't control, maybe you find ways to minimize the impact of those. I've been in a lot of industries and businesses where we have a lot of government regulation, and you can control those. I believe there's no such thing as can't, but it's quicker and easier to do what you can in a situation than it is to try to change something like government regulation, especially if you're a little fish in a big pond, because the big fish tend to control the pond, whatever the niche, whatever area or industry you're working in. So control what you can, change what you can that's in your control to minimize the impact of the hits that can come. To me, it's like always do what's right for your customer and for your business, and that is always in your control. Number 2, don't get stuck. Just because you get hit, don't get stuck. Well, wallowing in the pain of that hit. Figure out how to get from the problem to solution mode as quickly as humanly possible. Number 3, make decisions. Make decisions, take action, move forward. Don't stay stuck. Don't get stuck. Don't stay down. You might not even get knocked down. You might just take a hard hit or a hard blow, but make decisions based on that thing that happens. Don't bury your head in the sand. Don't ignore it, etc. If something's hard, acknowledge it, because stuff's hard, right? there are hard things and struggles that we have to overcome in our businesses. Doesn't mean we don't deal with it. It just means we can cut ourselves some slack knowing it's going to be hard. If I go into a situation and I know it's going to be challenging or hard and I prepare myself for that, it's much easier for me to handle and deal with than if I think, oh, this is a piece of cake, it's going to be easy. Number 5, trust your gut. Always listen to your intuition and your instincts on things. 6, when something goes down, don't shut down. A lot of times, I remember being served with a lawsuit from the municipality we lived in. And when something like that happens, well, I just call my lawyer, but sometimes there's this propensity or this desire to just shut down and take a breather or take a break. And maybe that's appropriate, but a lot of times it's not, especially when it comes to contracts and legal issues and things like that. We never want to ignore them. We always want to acknowledge them immediately. Like I said, first thing I do whenever I get something like that is call my attorney. That's why I have experts on my team. Number 6 was, when something goes down, don't shut down. And number 7, learn from the situation. Oh my gosh. It's one thing I've learned throughout growing and building my businesses is if I don't learn from a small situation, if I don't learn the lesson from that, something will happen later on that's even bigger that's to teach me that same lesson. And so whenever anything negative or anything challenging or any punches happen, I make sure I dissect that situation so I can pull all the possible lessons in that situation out so that I don't find myself in a similar situation or a worse situation down the road. And number 8, stay positive. Nothing ever gets better when we're negative or when we're having a fixed, closed mindset. So keep those things in mind. Love to hear some of your stories about having to roll with the punches. I literally could write novels on some of the punches I've had to take and roll with and figure out and learn from to move forward and to continue to grow and still exist and still be here today. So have an awesome day. If you've got an idiom that you would love to know the origin of and how you might be able to use it to grow and build and supersize your business, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you be able to use it to supersize and grow your business? Have a great day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.